Okay. I don't have anything planned for this one, but I might just knock something out super quick. What? I was going to maybe take a peek at board creator and maybe get this thing working. Let me see. Where is it? This thing. So ideally, if I go here and I start moving the hex coordinates around, it'd be nice to have some sort of indicator on which one I'm on. Right now I'm at 0, 0, so if I grow that, it'll grow here. If I shrink that, it'll shrink here. And if I go to another coordinate, say 5 here, I grow that, you see it'll go up here. But I have no indicator visually which one I'm on. Theoretically, if this is the tile indicator, see, I'm pulling this directly from the prefabs folder. But I could also not do prefab and just do the one that's in the game scene. Like this. And I don't think it'll update if I move it now, no. But if I go into the script, level data's not used. Should be, anyways. Update marker. And that gets called if the GUI changes. So when I make a change to the number in the inspector in the Unity editor, it should just do it anyway. Right? So when I make a change here, it should update the marker. Now, how am I updating the marker? I'm going to grab the position of XY, which is here, which is what I've been using. Point position, though. Point position doesn't get updated nowhere. I don't think. All I'm doing is changing this, but I never update the position. But what it wants to do is it wants to take the position, but that never gets updated. So what I could do is I could just say position equals, well, new point can't I just, I don't want, something about new, I feel like it's just taking up more memory every time I do new. I don't know how that works on the back end. But if I do here, oh, it does take XY. It should take XY. So XY is here. Where is it? XY is here. So that's weird. Tile view T equals tiles. Oh, it's because I'm I did that. I commented it out. Tile view T, tiles contain key position. Or something. Or no, if it does, then do this. Tiles.pose equals null. See? I'm not sure about that. That means that if I move it into a position that doesn't already have a tile, I feel like it's not going to be able to do it. it'll only go somewhere where an existing tile is. I'm feeling that's what that is. And tiles would be, let me just check. Point tile view. Yeah. See if it contains a key. What is this again? Is this or? This is an if statement, but I don't know, maybe something there. I'll have to check. Marker.local position, okay, equals tile. If tile does not equal null, then tile center I feel like I've changed this to Y at this point. Oh no, that's not right. Let me check this one out here. But tile center, center doesn't exist in tile. Probably because it's a C majuscule. No, and it's a function. Yes. Center right here. So what happens with this is it returns a vector 3. And what it returns is the game object.transform.position x. See, this should be the height of the tile and position z. So instead of doing 0.25 here, what is this one I commented out? Yeah, height times metric height. Yeah, it should be just height times step height. I don't use metric height anymore, but it would be a good idea to do that. So that returns that. It returns a new vector 3, but it should I'm very confused here because I'm not particularly used to this formatting. It's a shorter formatting from my understanding, an if statement. Okay, let me move this here because I keep toggle view here. If I call center, it doesn't even take any parameters. Oh, I know what it's doing. If this is true, do this. If this is false, do this. That's what it's doing. But this is not going to work anymore because I've changed. See, 1x is not 1 in the global space anymore because I've changed the scaling of those hexes to be I believe it's 1.33 or like a portion of what a meter would be. 1 is a meter in a global space, but now I'm using 4 feet, which is more than a meter, and I'm using float values for this now. So this doesn't do anything, but this should still work. If it's not null, I should be able to show up on a tile. Let's try that and see. So I'm just going to clear it, and I'm going to grow area. Oh, is it not going to show? Nothing's going to. Wait, let's try it and see. Yeah, you see I got one moving now. But if I go, that's really weird, eh? Oh, it's higher than it should be. That's for sure. Oh, and even if I go backwards, it works. Oh, but by too much. It's not, it's going 1, 2. See how it goes to this one? And then it goes to this one from here to here. That's too far. So when there's no tiles, it's moving, but it's moving by way too much because the distance of a tile would just be a little bit. There's like 3 tiles almost in one of these grids. But when I'm on a tile, it goes on the tile specifically. And funny because it's much higher than it should be. So step height is at 75 here. But it should be, which one is it on right now? This one here. Let me go to 0, 0 here. So 0, even 0, 0 looks like it's higher than it should be. Yeah. But 0, 0 has no, if I grow 1, now there's something. So at 0, 0, it should be at 0.25, which is at 0.25. Huh. So that is 0.25. If the scale is at 1, funny because it seems to be acting like it's at 1. So this height is actually 1 is 0.025. Huh. So it's a bit of just a small conversion there with something I overlooked. But yeah. Okay, let's take a look. I'm going to go. Boop, ba-doo. So basically, it needs to be this divided by 4. Which is fine. And everything where there's a tile is fine, but everything where there's not a tile is wrong. Yeah. See, I take it from the game object's transform because I place the game object in the world space somewhere else. But if there's no game object there, if there's no tile there visually, then there's no game object for me to take it from. See, what I do to place it is here. This is how I place. I could do a match. I could put in, I basically have to redo this code here. See, and this is where I put the values on the transform of the game object. Match doesn't return anything. Like, I'd be looking at duplicating the code and having like a crazy thing or just like this. It's not a lot of lines, but I'm just gonna take it. I'll have to reformat this. New vector 3. Hold on, let me put this down here just so I could have it somewhere. Yeah, I don't even think I can get that in one line. I can get this one and this one in one line, but X is because I use X, I give X a value, and then I add it to itself. And then I do more to it. That's why I feel like I need 2 lines there. So what I'll do is I'll just if t equals or does not equal null, I'm going to redo that to the whole thing. And then I want you to do t dot center and the marker local position will equal t dot center. Else what I'll do is I'll do a vector 3 position. We'll just redo this. Vector 3 position. itself, this is going to be positioned like this, and position like this. And if there's no marker there, then y will be 0. That's fine. And then the z will be this one, like this. And then marker local position will equal position. And then all this could be gone. Where did this come from again? I think I took that from here. I did. Don't need any of that. So now it should theoretically work. The height should work when there's a height. Before I was way too high. And when I'm not on top of an area where there is already a hex, it should move with the correct distances. Let's give it a shot. And there's 2. Yeah, I don't know why there's dupes. That's funny. I'll have to check that. So let's see here. Board creator. We'll just add some stuff. Fine, like that. I'll add some more. See if we can get some height going. That's cool. Some good height. Okay, now let's go ahead and move this thing around. So the distance is good. You see, this is moving in a zigzag, which is good. Oh, that's kind of weird. Look at where there's none. It actually hits this line. And where there's some, it doesn't quite reach this far. I was going to say the zigzag is good because, oops, that's okay. I was going to say the zigzag is good because in this direction there's always a little zigzag. But you see here, it doesn't even reach that far. Huh. Here it goes down twice. Here it go left, it'll switch directions, and then here, funny. Okay, that kind of works. There's something going on there. And if I go X here, see it'll go up to the. Oh, this one looks like it's a bit higher though. There must be an orthographic view. I can't remember. I never use the orthographic view. Where is it? I could just change it to field of view. 2D? So yeah, I think I'm on this one here and it's going over a little bit. So something's wrong there too. It's hard to tell which one I'm on. So I'm on this highest one right here. But I'm definitely under it. Funny, eh? It must be that my actual hex default there's the prefab folder. This one here, this is my default small because it's not actually on the same plane there. This one here, this height is probably not playing nicely. And I probably have a problem with it. See, I made it in Blender. And the height, I think it's this one, yeah, is 305 meters. Let me write that down. 0.305 meters. Why did I take 305? Let me see if I can remember. Can't remember. Cannot remember why I did 305. Probably because it's a foot. See, if I do a Google search, meters to feet, and I say 1 foot, that's what it is right here. That's where I got it. So it's 1/3 of a foot. So in fact, instead of dividing it by 4, here, I need to divide it by 3. Clear. That one was manually put there. Okay. Let's try it again. Okay, a bunch of stuff. Yeah, that looks a lot better. So I'm on this one. Yeah, the height is a lot better. It almost looks a little higher even now. But it's better, you know, it's a good indicator. What I could do, you know, I can start getting a little fancy with it, and instead of actually moving the marker around, one, the marker needs to be not so big. Like, you know, I have to angle myself and see what the hell's going on. It's weird. So this is definitely temporary. Well, I made it big like this because I wanted it to have multiple. In this case, it's even got more than just 3. Like 1, 2, 3. It's got like 4 because I got 1, 2, 3, half and half. But ultimately, the character is going to occupy like 3 cells in diameter. It's bigger. It goes around the whole character. So that's confusing. And another thing, I think what could be cool is if I'm on this cell, it would highlight, instead of doing this thing. I mean, this thing is good too, but I could just highlight it in a different color. Because if I go thinking, and what I could do is, you know, change the color of it, and when I'm out here with it, what could be cool is it puts in a placeholder one like this. That's exactly the size of it, and I would be able to see where I am. I think that would be nice. I think that would be nice. I don't know why I have 2. Well, I have an idea. I didn't think it would do it, but there's something in the script. Okay. Let's clear it. Let's delete this extra one. That's a clone. Yeah, because what it's doing is it's cloning it. It's not just using the one that I have in there. I'm doing a instantiate tile prefab. Tile selection indicator prefab. Nothing being used, which is right. See, I'm instantiating it. But I don't need to do that. I could do this. This whole thing, I could do that like this. Transform marker and then marker. Am I doing anything with, oh, doing something with it down here. I got errors. Yeah, it's not defined anywhere. And this is not a script that's running. I don't have a start or anything because it's running in the editor. It says that this isn't never assigned. Weird. Yeah, so what I could do is if marker equals null, then I could just say, you know, marker equals whoops, this. No? Dot transform? Yeah. Dot transform. That should get rid of the dupe. So if I start moving this around, yeah, there's no more dupe. I like that a lot, actually. But you know what would be cool? Oh yeah, remember that zigzag was giving me issues for some reason. Zigzag there works good. It seems to me like it's when I go into the minus. The issue is when it's not because I don't have any, it's when I go into the minus. When I'm in the pluses, it doesn't quite hit this line. And when I go into the minuses, it does hit that line. What about in the other direction, in X? Yeah, that works fine. And if I use X1 and the Y now, what does that do? Y in the minus goes to there, and same thing, it moves over a little bit more. Funny. If I grow one here, -4, grow, -3, grow, -2, grow, -1, grow, 0, grow. So this all follows the good pattern. Now what happens when I do 1? I see it goes the other way. Grow. See? Pattern is broken. And if I go 2, grow. If I go 3, grow. If I go 4, grow. So there seems to be something wrong when I hit the minuses, everything shifts over again some more. Oh. Well, what I'm doing here is I'm checking every other one. Yeah, so every second line, going up from 0 is being shifted over by +1, in a sense. But when I'm in the negative, it's being shifted over by -1, like inverted, because I'm in the negatives. So there's a little thing in the code there too I need to fix. Okay. Because it would be nice to be able to, well, one, it needs to not do this, because eventually that could run into issues with pathfinding and all sorts of game mechanics. Everything needs to be consistent. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know if that's an easy fix. Let me see. See, that gets done not in tile view. Don't think that would be done in the here. Floor. See, I do pose 1. What I could do is I could force this to always be positive. Because sometimes thinking, because X, Y, and it was in the Y, right? Yeah. It's the Y. So I could just say this, and if it's in the negative, just be positive. So how do I force that? And I could do that on all the Y stuff. C# force positive into value. Always return a positive value. I have a number. It could be negative or positive, but I simply want to return the positive value. -4, 4, or 5, 5. Okay. And the answer to that is math.abs. Absolute. Math.absolute. Okay. Comme ça. And I just need to put systems. Oops. Ah, darn it. There we go. I might just need it on this line. I don't know if I need it here. Probably do. I don't really know. Let's try it. I mean, if I run into more issues, I'll know where to look. Right? Let's try it now and see. Clear. Oh no. See, now when I go into the negative, it pops back up. Like it's going up. So I did run into another issue. I need to just, I'm gonna undo this last one. Whoop. This one, I think, because this is the one where I check for the 2, which is the one where I check on if it's like every second row. This one here, Just, yeah, I think that's right. I think this will work. Let's try it and see. See, now I can go in the negative, and I can go in the positive, and the offset looks to be the same. I'm not going too far over on the other way when I'm in the negative. So let's go ahead and try it. So I'm going to go 0, grow, 1, grow. Now if it works, see, if it doesn't work like we had before, the tile down here would be here. If it works, the tile down here will be here. So go to -1, and it works. Oh, it doesn't work. Cursed you. But the tile was on the right spot before I created it. It's when I hit grow, it popped over here. So not only I think what's going on is I just fixed the location of the ring, but remember this was duplicate code. So when the tile gets created, I didn't fix that part. And that's why duplicate code sucks. So I fixed it here. So I just added bath floor, So what I'll do is I'll just take all this, and that would be done in tile view. This is it here. I'm just going to put it underneath there so I can make sure that everything works. Oh yeah, so I just took, well, all I do is do math abs, basically. Like this. Right? I don't need this anymore. That's all. So let's try it again. Coding is very emotional. Okay. Error. Oh. Okie dokie. Well, remember that test. So we'll do 0, 0, grow. 1, grow. -1, so we looks like we're in a good position. Grow, and it's good. There we go. Cool. Okay. Now, what I would like to do is I would like to have it so that I have one of these tiles that is specifically located where I'm going to add something. I think what could be nice I'm thinking. So if I jump back into Blender, oops, not a new one. Did I save this file? I should save this file. I'm going to save it on, say the desktop, and I'm going to call it hex tile. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into face, and I'm going to grab everything, delete. And this here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it down to cursor. That didn't do anything. Well, maybe if I exit this mode and I bring it down to cursor now. No. Oh, it is. Ah, darn it. Ah, darn it. Wait. I want to pop this down to here. Hold on. Cursor to world. Where's cursor to center? Ah, jeez, no. I mean, I could just do it manually, but it's kind of... But I want it specific. Very, very precise. I mean, I could just zoom in. That'll do it. That'll do it. Let's say I use that, right? And what I'll do is I'll just export that. I'll export that as an FBX. Hex mesh and hex mesh. We'll call it selector. I might change it. I might change the shape, but we'll try that and see. And I'll go into meshes here. Where's meshes? Models. Go into the desktop. Hex mesh selector. We'll just bring it in. Right, so it's just the one-sided. Okay. And okay, cool. Now I could bring that in. I'll delete that. I don't like that one for now. And then we'll just go this one instead. Beep. And then when I move this around, right, it's that. And then what I could do, because I can't see it when it's on top here, but what I could do is I could just put a material on it. Let's go to materials. Selection 1. Don't know what that is. Do I need to put it up in here? Does nothing. Up in here. Okay, let's try the yellow one. See, it kind of shows me where I am. That's kind of cool. Now what happens if I grow it a lot? Because I remember it not being particularly perfectly aligned to the top. Especially I think there's more and more offset the higher the value. Let's go see now. That's good. See, it's floating above it. It still helps a lot to see where I am. But you know. Don't know why it would be floating on top. I'm dividing by 3. And that's going to be important that I get the top correct, because this is also how I'm going to be placing objects on these tiles, including characters. I need that to fit, right? That needs to fit. What I could do, because I'm using, see, I got it at 305, 0.305, which is supposed to be a foot. Like 1 divided by 0.30, like 0.305 is a foot. If 1 is a meter. So I'm using my hex scales are, I don't know why I'm doing feet, but I am. I guess I want something consistent that's a little bit more like in tune with the scale at which I want things modeled. Because if I did the height of it by default at 1 for a meter, instead of using step height of 0.25, that would mean it'd be a lot. But I could. It don't matter so much. At the end of the day, it's just, it needs to be consistent eventually. I just feel like there's something going on with my metrics when it comes to this stuff here. See, if I open up No. Oh, it auto-saved. Hex tile. No, I don't want to load it. Okay. See, this here is at 3 point, but if I just set it to 1, see, that's a meter. And now my Z is at 3 point whatever, but I could just set it to be, my scale is at 3.2. But what I could do is I could just, how do I apply that again? All transforms. Now my scale's at 111. And my height, which in Blender is at Z, is 1 meter. And if I export this, oops, did I do it? This one. I don't need all this stuff. It should just be selection. And I apply transforms. Okay. Now let's go back into here. We're going to clear the board creator. We'll just bring this back to 0 for fun. I think that's pretty cool. And right now my mesh is not correct. I'll delete it. I will bring in just this. And then my prefab is going to ask me for, oh no, it already knew where to get it. Okay. That's good. So technically it should all be plugged in already. Yeah, so my heights are going to be crazier there because this is still on a 0.25 metric. And I am dividing by 3, so I might actually still have the same issue. Let's try it, I'm just curious. Grow area, right? So the heights are a lot more wild. But if I start moving around, ooh, you see, that's not right. It's not right at all. Okay, it's okay. Let's see. Let's see. I like that though, nice and high. I need to change the steps though. So let's go see the code. So step height is 0.25. So if it's at 1, it'll be at 0.25 meters. I'm looking at the tile view. See, now I don't need this divided by 3 thing. Because what I was doing with the divided by 3 was I was trying to compensate for it being to meters to feet. Actually, that could have been 305 or something. Anyways, I don't know. I don't remember. And am I doing anything here to convert it? See, this is just position Y 0. Yeah, because I put it at 0 in space and I scale it for the height. The scale, you see here, step height. Height times step height. Okay, that's okay. Now, board creator, let's go see the position of the marker. Oh yeah. Hold on, I'm confused. Oh, it would be here. Okay. Let's try this and see now. See, now it works. Looks right on it too. It looks right on it. Yeah, that'll work real good. So that way, you know, it's going to be the same thing like when I'm placing characters on the map. So I want them to be nice and grounded. Good. These steps though are way too crazy. What I'm going to do is clear all that. And I'm gonna have way too many things open. Yeah, instead of step height being 0.25, we're gonna do like, I don't know, 0.10, each 10 centimeters. Yeah, 10 centimeters would probably work pretty good. That's not 10 centimeters, is it? I guess it is. I might do 5 centimeters. Yeah, I can see real good where we are. I like that. Pretty cool. I like it. Okay, let's do 5 centimeters. Good. Mm-hmm. See where it's now, there's actually no tile that exists. And even though probably what ultimately at the end, I probably still need tile information there. And that tile information will be that there's no tile. Because if I want to be able to jump from here to here, I still need to, for the path finding, have something there for it to calculate. Or well, if it's too high, it wouldn't be able to calculate because it would detect that it can't jump that high. But maybe something that says whether it's a hole or whether it's a cliff or something. Yeah, and you see too, another thing I'm going to test for fun there. Right now I have it set to 10 by 10, but I could have it set... Oh, but it does it from the 0 point. I can't go into the negative right now. I mean, theoretically, I mean, yeah, I could move the cursor there, but, and it'll still work. But when I'm using my grow area, it will only stay within the bounds of the 10 by 10 in positive, yeah. But that's just more feature, little feature tweaks. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. A little highlighter, I like it. It's a little bit more specific on what it is that I'm editing at any time. Right? Now, was there anything else that I had planned to do? I'm trying to remember. Cursor. No, I can't think of anything I was thinking of doing. I think I just wanted to do a little update. And whatever that update was, I think I did it, so. That's pretty cool. Seeing right now, under levels, I have this data, but I could, I should probably get it so that I could, see if I save it now, there's a lot less tiles than there was. And now this has been saved, overriding it. But what I'd probably need to put in like a field where I could put the name in. And it would be nice to have more of a custom GUI area here, like not, it's very messy. So it'd be nice to have more custom colors or whatever. And the idea is that this is just for quick maps, but the data itself, this stuff here, could be used for like maps, for like hex maps, and then after that, this data could be exported and recreated with like Blender or something, where I would bring in that data, it would recreate the hex, and I would have an idea on where those heights would be, but I could do a real art pass, making sure that the grounds are where they need to be and things like that. And even though characters are taking up 3 squares, like here, you see there's like a nice little, like an angle. That's why I want the slopes to be nice and easy. Because they could, adding height, like this is adding 1 to each one. It goes up by that much. But I could add 20 and it'll go up by this much. That's no problem. So adding cliffs is fine, but I want that there to be enough for there to be a nice gradient. And the gradient here, so you have to imagine your character's feet are going to be here and here, right? Because they're taking up 3. And for the art pass, so long as the center position of each one is where it needs to be, in between it could be smooth. And what I could do at that point is have the character here in the center, and his feet will just be using IK to make sure that they really hit the ground correctly. So slopes are fine. And when I bring that in to here, and I have that slope, I could just make it slope with art, you know, it's fine. But the data, I could generate it here. I could also generate it in Blender, because I have, whoa, wait, I don't want to get rid of that just quite yet. I want to get, see if I do, I don't know if I'll find it though. I haven't cleaned up my, no. See, I have files all over the computer for stuff like this right now, and I haven't cleaned up my... oh, here we go. We'll see, because I made this... yeah, oh, it works. Yeah, because I made this with another version of Blender, so I wasn't sure if the hexes were going to work. But using noise maps, and all this could be done in the engine too, but using noise maps, I'm driving the height values. And then what I could do is, I have them in hex form, but I could just create it to be completely flat, right, without seeing those hexes. And the hexes would only be seen using the UI overlays or something, right? And this could actually be rocks instead of hexes. But the thing is just for it to fit within a hex map, I have to constrain my art to fit within where the hex data is. But I could hide all this hex stuff in art. So yeah. There's a nice water shader. Yeah, yeah. But you see here how it's like subtle changes in the height, and then extreme changes. Right, and I think, yeah, I have it plugged to this. Yeah, you see? I can move the, it's basically a texture, and I move it wherever I want it. And I think I could scale it too. Yeah, you see? I could scale it. And then I have this one here. That doesn't do anything. What if I scale it? Oh, that just makes the hexes bigger. But I can't super really do this because making the hexes bigger or smaller is going to make it so that the actual hexes are not 1 foot by 1 foot, and the art would not be able to match it if I want to maintain it. Like, it's just, I don't know, maybe there's a way to do it, but I'm not, it'll be tricky. Ultimately, I could just reduce the size of it and zoom in. It'll do the same. Yeah. Anyways, I think I'm going to end it there. Yeah, alrighty, that's the end of that one.